Hello, this is my video essay of what I've learned and what I've gone through in the whole Flickerfest festival. I would like to start by reading an intro to my original essay that I had written, but unfortunately was wiped. So I'm here recording a video essay now. Here was my intro. The time I've spent in my first month of being in Australia may be divided into two parts. What I have done with respect to Flickerfest and what I have done outside of it. Through sound engineering, film production, directing, and video and music editing, my perspective on film, and some would say even the world, has changed. From actions to thoughts, from significant moves to the slightest altercation, every step of the filmmaking process is not only appreciated, but absolutely necessary to the final product of the film. Uh, the things I have learned, I would say, are the most important to what I've taken in Flickerfest. The beauty of the festival is everything you learn on the way. While it is in its 28th year, Flickerfest still attracts from kids to adults and brings the same emotion to all who watch the films. Absolute awe. Flickerfest is also the only short film in the country when prize winners obtain eligibility for consideration for both Academy Awards and the BAFTAs. The true beauty of the festival, I really do believe, though, is the soft spots it touches. You have children lining up with absolute smiles on their faces, not waiting to see what kids' films they have in stock. Some are even actors in the films that are being shown, and the excitement to them, and also to the next day, which is drama films, and the next day, which is LGBTQ films, and it's day after day of organization and constant enjoyment, and it was really an amazing sight to be able to partake in everybody's enjoyment to the films. Having sat in on also the couple of films as well, I was able to learn about what goes into post-production and getting it to the screen, and the nerves of actually showing it to so many people. I was able to feel that when we presented our films personally to the class. Um, an amazing part about Flickerfest as well is the fact that it's so close to the beach, and you have this whole film festival of people that are getting together and watching movies while at the same time people are just going about their daily lives, surfing and playing in the sand, and ultimately that's exactly what our short films were about, was the beach culture itself. The friendly culture of people walking by was able to be felt when even I was giving out pamphlets which had the synopsises and the names of the simple films. When I was sitting there and I had people walking by with surfboards or skateboards or with family on the way back from the beach, it was so easy to feel immersed in the culture, because not only did I film beach culture, but I was able to sit in on beach culture. And what Flickerfest does so beautifully is it immerses beach culture into their setup. Flickerfest is beach culture, and it's bringing film and beach culture together, which is also what we've tried to accomplish. Um, the most important thing, though, I feel like I've taken in has been film production and what I would like to get out of film production um, for the future. Some of the notes I have on film production, especially as a director, watching the films that I've seen, you get to see everything that goes into directing a film, and how hard it is to get your actors to do exactly how you see it, and the music has to be exactly on point, and you have to be on the same page with your editors, your producers, your sound boom people, your video film, and everybody that partakes in it. And it was a pleasure to see how well put together all of these directors were, and you could see the beauty behind the work. And the video of film has also changed. the way I view film in total. I start seeing these shots of the beach and the sand in the movies I see now, and it's like that's a good shot. And if I see the video screen shaking, I'm like they could have used this for it. And it's interesting the way that I now view films. Another part about about Flickerfest that was great was being able to interact with the staff there. I actually met Shane Rennie, who was the Flickerfest production and tour manager, and we sat and we spoke for, it had to be at least 45 minutes about, he actually came by and I offered him a pamphlet, and he says, oh, Flickerfest, interesting, what is Flickerfest? And I start telling him about it, whatever, he's messing around with me, and I was like, okay, so who are you? And he said, I am the director of this whole process. And we sat down and I asked him about everything, what it mean, how did it start, how long have you been doing it, where do you see it going? And he told me all of the ins and outs from it. I even got his contact information, and I've learned so much from even just talking to him in that 45-minute wingspan. Some other things that I really enjoyed were meeting the directors and the producers and even the kid actors who partook in the film, and being able to speak to them about what went into it. And a good part about doing that after I directed and I filmed was I saw what I did wrong and what I was able to learn from in the future. And that was very important to me, because now I'm able to take what I've learned or what I've made mistakes on in the film production and say, this exactly is what I have to work on, which is very important to production and film, and even directing, is having a grasp on every single thing that comes into the film and what it means to take it from nothing, or a simple idea, a simple pitch in a class, and making it a short film that could even possibly be submitted for approval. Who knows? These are the things I've taken in. Some other small notes. I know I've said a lot of things are most important, but there are so many important things. One of the most important things is really to be yourself, which is something I spoke about Shane with. It's easy to lose sight of the exact plans that you have when you're filming, because you could say it's easy to take a shortcut, or it doesn't work for everybody else, but in reality, vision and gut is everything in the creative process to a film, and the logistics too for a plot line. And to be yourself and to be different, but also to feel like you are making a difference is very important to film production, and to absolutely go for it no matter what. Another thing I've learned was to enjoy. Simply put, it's an easy thing to say that I've learned, but at the end of the day, people are in this industry because they love what they do. They love seeing a product, they love seeing their own product, and that's something that I also really relate to, is seeing something that you envision and making a product out of it. And that is beauty, and that's the beauty of film. I also I all volunteered for an extra shift because partly because I wanted to see some of the short films out, but also partly because I wanted to feel like I was doing something. And, we had this class and it was an amazing experience, but I felt like a huge part of the class was learning from this Flickerfest and what we were supposed to take in. I believe I went overtime on all of the things that I thought I should have said, but all in all, this was an amazing class. The people that I've worked with, the classmates, learning from classmates, learning how to edit and film and do sound box, and I was able to actually and music, and I was and stretching and condensing and sound chopping. I was able to learn all of that not only from the teachers but from the classmates. You, Greg, and Martin did an excellent job with teaching us everything that needs to go into filming, and specific engineering and producing and putting together of a total clip. And more than that, the environment that we were able to do it in was spectacular. School, and also the fact that we went to the beach to film some things, and the birds and everything was really, really important. Um, and thank you for this class, and I really see myself continuing in whatever film can come my way, whether it be a short film, whether I actually pursue directing, who knows. But this was really a step forward in my learning curve and my process, and I thank you, and I hope this suffices. Goodbye.